Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming. My name is Tony Yankel. I'm president of the Ohio Lakefront Group. I represent a number of lakefront property owners, residential property owners, about 6,000 members that we have. There's 15,000 parcels of land on Lake Erie itself. I'm not here because of exactly Lake Erie. I'm here on a much broader issue, which happens to be the deeds. We've been fighting for our deeds for a number of years. Effectively, all we want to do is have our deeds validated. We're trying to stop just a small number of state bureaucrats from essentially trying to invalidate our deeds. We had to file a lawsuit over 6 years ago. We did file that lawsuit, and we're still in the legal process of fighting that lawsuit. Basically, ODNR has been saying over the past 6 years that they own property that is deeded to private citizens, that private citizens paid for, that private citizens are paying taxes on. We've won in the federal court, we've won in the state common pleas, and we've won in the appellate court, the state appellate court. Right now we're before the Ohio Supreme Court. Mark Dan, the Attorney General Mark Dan, appealed the first time. Right now, the present Attorney General, Cordray, is appealing to the state Supreme Court, again, going against our deeds. ODNR did not actually make an appeal in that case. I'd like to introduce some of the legislators that are going to be speaking here today. We have Bill Seitz, Senator, and then we'll have Representative Nan Baker. Tom Patton will speak next, Senator Tom Patton, Senator Tim Grendell, and then Representative Adams, John Adams. We have a diverse group here. If you'll notice, there's 3 of these people have lakefront districts, and 2 do not. One is from Cincinnati, and one is more central Ohio. The reason is, again, we're looking at if our deeds fall, if some bureaucrat can come and tell us that our deeds are invalid after they've been around for over 200 years, they've been around since literally before the state was formed. If they can invalidate our deeds, they can invalidate the deeds of those on the Ohio River, and they can invalidate deeds throughout the state of Ohio. We have documentation where they have said such things as they own everything not only along the shores of Lake Erie, but the shores of all rivers, streams, creeks, and lakes inland in Ohio. Governor Strickland's been on our side. When Governor Strickland ran his campaign, he gave us a campaign promise, and I'd like to read from that a little bit. Quote, "I have concluded that the lakefront owners rightfully own the land as specified in their deeds," end quote. Quote, "A Strickland Fisher administration will ensure the state of Ohio continues to value the rights of property owners," end quote. Finally, Strickland said, quote, "The state of Ohio has gone too far and is unjustified in its attempt to take land from those that rightfully own it," end quote. That was a campaign promise. After he was elected governor, a few months after, actually in July of 2007, he actually made good on his promise. He instituted a new policy. The new policy statement read in part, quote, "Under this new policy, the state will honor the valid deeds of local property owners along the coast of Lake Erie. I believe this policy ensures protection of our important natural resources without compromising the rights of landowners," end quote. It further states, quote, "Consistent with the governor's view, the deeds should be honored unless they are found to be limited and or unenforceable by a court of law. ODNR has determined that it is inappropriate to require deed holders to lease land that they maintain that they own," end quote. Well, that's what the governor says. I'm very happy with the governor's policies, what the governor's been saying, but I think what you're going to be hearing in the next 5 speakers is something quite different than what the governor has indicated. I'm going to